Perfect.
Good.
Yeah, good.
All right, man. Here we are. We're rolling. We're recording. So, Nicholas, man, it's been a long time coming. I'm
Oh
very
yeah,
I'm very glad that we're having this conversation.
me too. Me too. It was challenging for me because, well, I'm French Canadian, so mostly speak French. So it's gonna be a little challenge to talk my English.
Dude, I'll tell you what. As somebody who I'm a fan of languages myself, and I actually speak with a couple of Spanish-speaking members of Linchpin multiple times a week to practice my Spanish.
Okay.
And so, my Spanish is nowhere near your English is amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. So the point being, so I have an appreciation for it. And most people, if they haven't tried to speak more than one language, they just need to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah.
Like so I'm very impressed that you're doing this interview in a different language. But man, you are known
Yeah.
in the Lynchman private Facebook group for
Mhm.
many things, but for mostly, historically speaking,
Yeah.
you post these great photos with a big smile, like
Yeah.
whether the workout went well, whether the workout went poorly, whether
Yeah.
you're having a good day, whether you're having a bad day. It's the Nicholas Canadian smile. We can count
Yeah.
on it. Is that just you? Are you the happy-go-lucky guy, or do you um, force yourself to have that good smile just to put on a good face no matter what happened?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I'm easy smiling. I like to have a good time, having a good chat with friends. I like to be positive most of the time, and it really kicked in when I was coaching CrossFit, actually. And there's always that one member that's have a bad mood every workout, don't want to do that type of movement. It's always kind of giving a bad mood for the whole class.
Mm-hmm.
And at times to times when certain movement come around when I was a client and not teaching the class, my wife told me, "Hey Nick, just keep on your good smile because when every time there's burpees or thruster, you always have, I don't want to do that." Blah, 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 blah." So it reminded me that I don't like it when my clients do that in my group. So I told myself, okay, just don't do this anymore. Bad day, good day, rain and shine, just be smiling and put a good vibe to everyone to enjoy their day. So
A
that's
hundred percent
basically the
agree, man.
story.
I always just, I wanted you to know that I always enjoy those posts. I love seeing the smile. I knew that I could always count on it. Uh, you
Thank you.
know, in the email that you wrote me, kind of
Yeah.
giving a little bit of your backstory, there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff that I want to chat about. A whole bunch. Well, there's something I was going to launch into right away, but before I do that,
Yeah.
I'm going to pause and go in a different direction. Tell me a bit about what you do for a living, because I know you've also posted in the private Facebook group that,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't you like applying for a new position or going
Yeah.
through a stressful period? So what was that
Yeah.
all about?
So currently I'm a medical technologist. So I'm working in the lab at the hospital of Sacré-Cœur, which is one of the biggest trauma center in Quebec. And I'm in a position that I'm a team leader, chief assistant, as you may want. So I'm currently managing a team of 11 person per day, and around the clock it's around 25 person
Okay.
for the biochemistry lab. So we are running glucose tests, HbA1c tests, urine tests, you name it, we run it.
Okay.
So before that, I was working the graveyard shift and I was doing blood bank. I was doing the hematology, so red blood cell, white blood cell, things like that, and the biochemistry part. And I
Okay.
move on to that leading position. And now well, I'm living in Saint Jerome, so it's normally 46 kilometer from home to work. So a 35-minute drive without traffic,
Hmm.
and an hour and 30 with traffic.
And I bet
So,
there's traffic a lot.
yeah. Every day, Monday to Friday. So basically, when Charlie was born, I had a little bit of self-evaluation, and I want to know if I still want to do that much traffic for a job that, yes, I like, but it's take me off time from my family, basically. And that job opening happened. It's a technical application specialist for Siemens Healthineers. So basically, they are the one who provide me the instrument at the lab.
Okay.
And I saw that post, that role on LinkedIn. And the same morning, the girl who has the role for me called me for something else. And I said to her, "Hey, you're looking for a friend?" And she said, "Yeah, actually, you want to talk about it?" So life goes on. I did two interview with them, and I'm in the process of singing the contract.
Oh,
So
no kid.
basically,
Congratulations.
thank you very much. So basically, if everything goes right, January 20, I'm gonna work for them.
And why will this be better for your life?
It's half and half working from home and being at the client.
Oh, that's
They
cool,
provide
man.
a laptop. I can work from home, and they're really flexible on my schedule. So they told me my little girl is sick. I can work from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., taking care of Charlie all the whole day and continuing my hours at the night.
Just get it done. Whoever you get it done, you get it
Exactly.
done.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's really great. A little bit
that's
stressful.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit stressful because I need to go to the States for training.
Okay.
They have a site in New York City. No, yeah, in nearby New York City, Tarrytown, and
Okay.
in North Carolina. So I'm gonna be
Okay.
off from home. So the grandparents gonna we're gonna need the grandparents for this
Yeah,
aunt to
yeah.
take care of Shelly. But yeah, it's gonna be a
Where, do you know
fun
where in
ride.
North Carolina you're going? What town
No,
or city?
actually, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, man, when you go to North Carolina, I don't know what's going on up there in Canada, but you need to get yourself some, just like go to like a good barbecue place, like
Oh
get
yeah.
some good Southern barbecue, cornbread, like hush puppies, the whole nine yards.
I
Like,
really want to try that. I actually have a trigger at home. I smoke a lot of meat, and I want
okay.
to try the real thing in the
Oh
US
yeah.
just to see what how it's really done.
We've got some Linchpin people for sure and some gyms down there in North Carolina. So depending
Okay.
upon where you're going, let me know before you go there. We'll see if we can't put you, maybe you'll be close to somebody.
All right. Of course.
Well, you know, you just mentioned something that I was going to get to later on, but you brought it up. Um, Congratulations, man, and your little girl.
Thank you very much.
How, I mean, talk about a big change in your life. How old is
Yeah.
she?
4 months.
4 months. Have you
Yeah.
slept at all?
Well, my wife is actually only breastfeeding.
Okay.
And she's get up pretty much every 2 hours or 3 hours. We
Uh,
had a few 5 hours, and when the 5 hours occurs, actually I'm getting up and like, is she breathing? Is
right,
everything
right.
fine? Because it's not normal.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
How do you like being a dad?
I love it, man. It's challenging at times, but the wave of love that you feel when you holding that little thing in your hand is just so amazing.
And isn't it incredible how much something like that, you know, entering your life, like you don't know what it's going to be like, right?
No,
People tell you, but you just don't
yeah.
know. And it hits you in so, I mean, it hits you also in a way it sounds like where you reevaluated what you wanted to do,
Hmm.
like for work, spending time
Yeah,
away. Like it's a big deal. It makes you think about every aspect of your life and are you
exactly.
optimizing it?
Yeah, everything you do, you're thinking of your wife, you're thinking of your baby, you want to do right for everyone. So yeah.
And
Yeah.
how have you been able to get in any workouts or are you just surviving right now,
Oh
trying to
no,
get some sleep?
the first month, I had a few workouts. Now, most of the time, I can train 3 to 4 days a week.
Nice.
Yeah, but I don't sleep a lot. So basically, I'm trying to get to bed at 9 p.m. or so, 9:30 if things go badly, and I'm up at 4:20 a.m. So
Yeah.
maybe a 6 hour, depending on how many times Shelly get me up at night. And I try to work out at 5 a.m. I want to be in the garage.
Old
Try
Canadian
to do the
garage.
yeah, try to do the workout and get out of there. And I need to get off to work at 6:10 a.m. So
Okay.
it's pretty hectic. But that's what I like about your program because I do my warm up, I do the workout. It's short, it's quick, it's fun, it's art, it's perfect. Then off to work.
But you might be able to make that even maybe a little bit better for yourself after you get this new position where,
Yeah.
you do some work. It's a day you don't have to worry about a commute. And if she
Hmm.
goes down for an hour-long nap,
Yeah,
you can run out there and knock it out.
exactly. Yeah,
And it won't
exactly.
have to be 5 a.m.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, that'd be so, I'm so happy for you, man. Good for you.
Thank you
It's
very much.
it puts a lot of things in priority and also,
Yeah.
makes you realize why you're working out.
Hmm.
You want to be happy and healthy and fit for this little girl for years and
Yeah.
years and years to come.
Jokingly, I always said to my wife, the main goal is to be able to take a poop by myself at 80 years old.
Amen.
That's the main goal.
I think it's a fantastic goal. In the information that you wrote to me,
Yeah.
it sounds like your family growing up
Hmm.
was kind of similar to my family. You said
Okay.
when you think about your family, you
Yeah.
don't think about fitness.
No,
You think about a sedentary lifestyle
of
and
course.
that you were overweight most of
Hmm.
your life, which
Yeah.
I was too. I was
Oh,
overweight as a kid. Like I weighed the same in eighth grade that I
okay.
weigh right now, 82 kilos,
Oh, wow. Okay. In pounds? Sorry.
185 pounds.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So, and it wasn't muscle.
I hear you. I hear you really, very good.
So
Um,
yeah, the
I
Sherwood household was full of, I had a mother that loved to cook. She was
yeah.
really, really good at it, and I loved to eat. And there
Hmm.
you go.
Yeah. It
But
was
what was your growing up, your deal?
same thing. A mother that loved to cook. And a little bit of eating disorder.
Mm,
When I was stressed, I was eating a lot. And since I had some bullying in school because I was overweight, coming back from home, I was just feeding myself. And my mom and dad tried to control that part of my life and
hmm.
eating good food, but the portion was too big. And when I turn young teenager, like 12 years old, 13 years old, when they go out to do anything, I stay home alone. And there I was just stuffing my face behind their back. And I
Sorry.
took care of the jar of peanut butter and just
Technologist, we're
eating
gonna be
from
sending the
it.
file up here within the next 10 minutes. Just want to. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
As you know, I got to work from this Panera bread because my vehicle's getting worked on. Some guys are
Okay.
doing electrical work here. He's like, we're gonna set the fire alarm off sometime in the next 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. But anyway, sorry, continue.
No problem. So yeah, I was just stuffing my face right from the jar of peanut butter or the jar of jam, something like that. So yeah, it was a eating disorder for sure.
Mm.
And getting older, as I told you, when I went on the I don't know the English term for that, oh, the not balance, but how to measure your weight, the
How to measure your weight,
the
like your
device.
body fat percentage or calipers or
No, no, just the
a scale?
yeah. Thank you very much.
Scale.
The scale. When I went on
How do you say scale in French?
une balance
Okay.
ou un pèse-personne. So
Okay.
yeah. So when I went on the scale and I was 250 pounds, not
Mm,
not muscle, fat on a six
right.
foot frame, and I was 50 pounds from my father. That really, really, really hit me hard. And yeah, and luckily 2 weeks later there was a box opening at 5 minutes from home. So I just subscribed there right away. And
Perfect.
yeah,
And and you know, did that do it? All of a sudden, you just got yourself into the box, and I doubt that the weight just fell off, right? I mean, you
no,
must have had to make some really big changes. What was that
yeah,
journey like?
yeah, I really did some big changes. I really tried to control myself in terms of food. Um, the words of Greg Glassman, the 100 words, really helped me to evaluate how I eat back then.
Mhm.
And I really tried to push away any sugar and everything like that, just focus on great food, great quality food, and a lot of workouts, man. That time when I was working the graveyard shift, I was lucky enough to work 7 days in a row and have a 7 days off. But I was working
Okay. Wow.
10-hour shifts. So basically in the 7 days, the 7 nights, I was working 70 hours. So I had a full-time status, but I had a week off. During the week off, I was training 2 times a day, basically. Just
Okay.
yeah, I was that
Wow.
kind of member.
Yeah. No kidding. How much weight did you lose and how long did it take you?
Overall, I can't say because I gained a lot of muscle.
Okay. Okay.
My lowest was 210 on a 6 foot
Okay.
frame. And right now I am running around 225, which I'm not happy about. I would try to lose weight again, but definitely with the stress from work and the lack of sleep.
A
Um,
4-month-old little girl.
yeah, exactly. And I know I don't do the right eating choices in the kitchen right now. So
It happens,
yeah.
I don't want to speak for you. And I'm sure there's a whole spectrum, right? I mean, somebody who's 500 pounds might be annoyed to hear me talk about my food issues, but from being that little overweight kid, like that little overweight kid still lives in me
Oh
somewhere.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
it's every single day, every
Hmm.
meal. I have a desire to overeat.
Oh,
Like
of course. Of
I
course.
do. Like
The
I'm in Panera right now. I'm looking at the cookies that they have. You can't, they're like right over there. I would love to go get 5 or 6 of those things and just
oh
stuff them
yeah.
down my throat. Like they're calling to me.
I understand. It's funny enough. Today, Christmas time, right? And my employer had some cupcakes at the job site.
Okay.
And yesterday, so yesterday I ate one. I told myself just one for dessert at lunch. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. You don't
No
need
problem. Just one.
the whole afternoon. They're calling me.
Yeah.
I they
Yep.
they're calling me. And today there was still cupcakes. I was looking at them. I was like, oh no. Oh no, no, no. And I had a lack of discipline. I stuffed myself with two of them.
Man, it happens. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take you. I'm gonna walk to an outside table just in case this fire alarm goes on.
no problem.
And it's ridiculously loud in here. It just sounds like it's going to be. So this is going to be an outside interview. Just
Okay,
we do whatever we have to do here.
no problem.
Since live television, we gotta do. Make it happen. So, have you? After the alarm goes off, I'll come back in. It's not raining in
Oh,
Washington
that's
State,
good.
so I'll take that as a win.
Yeah,
Um, have you found anything that actually works for you to help, you know, not walk over and grab the entire plate of cupcakes immediately? Like,
yeah. I had that one sentence that said, "How you gonna feel later?" And every time I walk by a cupcake or anything that I don't need to eat, and I
yep,
really want it, I just ask myself, how good's gonna give, what good's gonna give you, and how about you gonna feel about yourself later?
yep, 100%.
That's basically.
How would you describe how you eat now? Is it zone? Is it paleo? Is it counter macros? Or is it just something you've just developed and created? What
Yeah,
is
at
it?
first I was highballing a lot, just trying to eat good food in what I thought was a good amount of it. Then when I really, really wanted to shred myself, I had a coach, which is a friend of mine, who has his nutrition certification,
Okay.
and I was counting macros through the BTWB app
Okay.
um, back then. That's when I went to 210 and I was all that shredded. But the lifestyle of always have the scale in the kitchen and measuring everything, it, it was okay
It
at first.
works,
It works,
but
it
you
works.
don't want to do
But
it for the rest of your life.
exactly. It cuts the fun of eating, I think. There was things like a good bowl of shitty that I wanted to eat, but every time it was like, how do I count that as my macronutrients and everything? So I kind of stopped that.
Mhm.
Um, I'm back to highballing. Of course, I'm oversizing. Pretty sure I'm oversizing the carbs.
The eyeball method never gets smaller. It always slowly gets bigger.
Exactly. Exactly. For the protein, I still wait. Uh, just because it's easier when you have a
Mhm.
steak or you have a piece of pork, something like that. But for carbs and vegetables, it's still highballing.
Yeah, I kind of do something very similar, as a matter of fact. When I had my lunch today, I did break out the scale, but it was just to make sure that I got enough chicken.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You know,
Mhm.
I know I'm not going to accidentally eat too many apples. That's not
Yeah,
going to happen. You know,
that's
like
gonna happen.
yeah, it's that and that generally works for me. If we were to talk just for a second,
Mhm.
calories don't matter.
Yeah.
You can eat whatever you want. Like, what are
Yeah.
the foods that you just, since both of us love food, what are
Yeah.
the delicious foods that you just love?
I don't have like a top one dessert or a top one meal. I have my list of what I like. Uh,
Okay.
good old brisket, smoke. Ah, I really want to taste the real thing. What I do, I think is good, but I really like to taste the real thing down in
That's
the States.
awesome.
Yeah, of course it will. Um, there's something in Quebec that's really, really Quebec thing. There's two things actually. A poutine. I don't know if you ever come to Canada or mainly in
That sounds
Quebec.
familiar. What is it?
Yeah, it's basically a bowl of French fries, cheese curds, and gravy. Basically, just that. And the quality of the poutine is
That's awesome.
depending of the gravy most of the time and the quality of the cheese curds. But and there's that snack bar just in front of the hospital, which was running 24 hours before COVID. And you smell the gravy and the fries from the lab. So yeah, it was hard. But yeah, that and that there's one thing called a pudding chômeur. That's
What's
a
that?
white cake with a syrup-like thing made from maple syrup and brown sugar
Oh,
and heavy
goodness.
cream. And it
Oh, come on.
and the white cake is cooked in that syrup. Oh man.
Really?
Oh
What's
yeah,
it
it
called?
is. Pudding chômeur.
Wow, that sounds
The term
incredible.
chômeur is from back the days in the 1920s when there was a black period and everyone didn't have the work. So it was
Okay.
cheap to do. So the one who was not working here in Canada, in Quebec, we call them chômeurs. And the cake had their name because it was cheap to do.
Dude,
Yeah,
that sounds incredible.
yeah, yeah. If you came in
Absolutely
Canada
incredible.
during sugar season, like in spring, and you go to a sugar shack, you have to try that. You have
Sugar
to.
season. What do you mean sugar season? You guys have a sugar season?
Yeah, we have a sugar season. Yeah, well,
I
it's the
didn't know that
time.
was a thing.
It's the time of the year when maple syrup is basically produced. So
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
and it
it's
is
called
as
sugar
fresh as it
season
gets.
because yeah, yes, it is.
Oh man. Oh, they just ran the fire alarm. Go back inside so I'm not
Okay,
cold. Um, oh, sugar season. I've never heard of that in my life.
I
I
don't know
think
if the English
that
part
makes
of Canada
sense.
they call that way, but purely translation from French to English is sugar season.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, especially because when all the trees are, ripe, ready, if you will. Here we go. Now we're back here. Man, I spent some decent time in Canada. Um, Back when I was traveling for work or whatnot. And
Okay.
been to Toronto a bunch, Montreal only a couple of times. I
Mhm.
always had a blast in Canada. Canada always
Yeah.
treated me really, really well. People, food, the whole nine yards. I have good memories of Canada.
We are really welcoming people, right?
And all I remember was, whereas Americans are so in love with their Starbucks, there's all Timmy Hortons up there.
Oh yeah. But um, I may get shot for that, but Tim Horton
Oh, here we go.
has, yeah, but Tim Hortons had lost a lot when they changed their brand of coffee. Basically
Really?
now I prefer McDonald's
No
coffee than
kidding.
Tim Hortons, but that's my 2 cents. And I'm
You
not
know
the
what's
one who's
funny?
buying
That's
coffee
interesting.
anymore, so yeah.
Interesting. I've got a buddy down here who I'll get together and we'll have a cup of coffee every now and then and talk. And we would usually meet at Starbucks, but they're
Mhm.
every 4 or 5 feet down here. There's a Starbucks.
Yeah.
And he was like, meet me at McDonald's in the morning. I was like, meet you at McDonald's? Like for what? He's like, the coffee, man. I was like, really? I
Yeah.
was like, okay, fine, why not? I went there and I'm not like a crazy coffee person. So as far as I could tell,
Mhm.
it was just another good black cup of coffee, but it was
Yeah.
like half the price of Starbucks. I was like, okay, this will work.
Yeah.
So this will
Yeah.
work just fine. That'll work just fine. I tell you what, talking about food, that's maybe not good for you, but we like. Um, I remember back in the day, just a greasy like sausage and egg McMuffin from
Oh yeah.
McDonald's. Oh my goodness.
I know those are great.
My goodness, they obviously have just engineered that to be the exact right
Mm-hmm.
proportion of like sweet and salty and fat and
Bad
everything
bill.
all like
Oh
perfect. So it's like as addictive as a drug. It's so good. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my goodness. Of course, you guys are, your company's worth however much this stuff's amazing. Uh, I also remember going up to Canada and every now and then we'd go out and we'd get an ice cream. And I
Mhm.
thought they had a place we like to go called like the Marble Slab. It
Oh
was
yeah.
kind of like a Cold Stone creamer. Like it was this like they would lay these things out on this big
Hmm.
cold slab and chop up all the ingredients and mix it
Yeah.
all up.
That's not quite popular here in Quebec,
Okay,
but I
okay.
heard in Ontario there's a lot of them.
Do you guys have, for lack of a better way for me to say it, do you guys have American sized portions like we do? Like when I interview people
Yeah.
who are over in Europe, for example, like,
Hmm.
well, here I am in Panera. So I've got this drink from Panera, which is probably
Yeah.
like, I don't know, a 16-ounce cup or something like this. We can go to any restaurant and get this much ice cream easily. But if you go over to Europe, you can't find
Yeah.
something this size. Like it's like that big as a
Hmm.
normal portion, but the
Hmm.
portions in the United States are 3 or 4 times the European portions. I'm assuming that's the same up
That's
there
the
in
same in
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, we were like a lot like you guys. Basically living up north, which pretty much the same company here, like McDonald's
Hmm.
and fast food chains are pretty much the same.
And
So yeah.
being in the hospital
Yeah.
industry, is it safe to say you guys having the same or very similar, just overweight, chronic disease, heart conditions, diabetes,
Oh
the
yeah.
whole 9 yards?
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's just an epidemic.
Yeah, yeah. Just an epidemic. And the more it goes, the worse it goes.
Hmm.
Um, I really do think, as a health worker and a former CrossFit coach, that there's not enough prevention made by our government.
Oh my
They
goodness.
they
Ours
treat
does a
they
terrible
treat
job.
they treat really great. I mean, once you're in the system, you're gonna have a good care of the things. But in the prevent part, nah, not that
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, we're not big into that as well, which is an absolute shame,
Yeah.
because there's just such an incredible lack of information given
Hmm.
to our population as to good or bad food. And I don't want to go down a crazy rabbit hole, but I mean, I'm sure there's financial incentives between big
Yeah.
companies that sell those foods and make
Yeah.
donations to the government. And, it's probably gonna be a very hard system to break. And I can't imagine our government saying, hey, don't eat these foods.
Hmm.
They're multiple billion-dollar companies that, we have a relationship with,
Create
but don't eat
jobs
them.
and yeah,
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be just, word of mouth, through us and
exactly.
gyms and friends and all that kind of stuff. So
Hmm.
are you the one member of your family that kind of has been successful in
Yeah.
breaking away from that sedentary overweight
Yeah.
lifestyle? And if so, do they just consider that you got lucky or whatever, or do they ask you what you're doing and advice?
Uh, I was the one who was lucky. Um, and I'm not that close with the family of my father's side. I wish I am
Mm,
more, but we don't see us enough.
mm,
From my mother's side, we're more close, and they don't have that kind of problem, I guess. I would
gotcha.
say it's
Okay.
really like a mondial thing. Um, every one of the Mondial side is a little bit more overweight. We gain mass really easily. When I was a child, my doctor told my mom, "You just smell food and gain weight." Basically, yeah, it's a terrible thing to say. Let's just say it's a terrible thing to say, but yeah, he said
But he
that.
wasn't wrong.
No, it wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong at all. But it's a terrible
Oh,
thing to say to a kid of 10 years old, but yeah.
oh
But
man, that's
yeah, on the Mondian side, the sedentary lifestyle is more there. They want to try, but they don't seem to have the discipline that I had.
yeah, yeah. It
So
does take discipline, man. There's very few easy paths and easy routes. Are
yeah.
you guys seeing in the hospital and in medical field and your perspective as well, more and more people going on like pharmaceutical intervention for like
Oh yeah.
massive to
Oh yeah.
significantly help weight loss, whether it's Ozempic or one of its like different name but
Uh,
similar style products,
yeah,
sort of a
Ozempic
thing.
is big here, and a
Okay.
lot of bariatric surgery, like
Yes,
smalling
yes.
the stomach.
Yep.
They have a lot of that. I saw a lot of that on the operation list.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really not in the. I wish it would be more in the fitness side of things and not on the pharmaceutical type of side of things. But yeah,
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we've got a lot of that happening down here as well. How in the world with a little 4-month-old baby were you able to find time for this interview?
to set an interview, I have an
To find
amazing
time for the
wife. I have an amazing wife. And right now I'm lucky enough, she just breastfeed right before the interview. So right now she's sleeping.
uh,
So we're in the clear. The
oh,
dinner
that's
is
awesome.
already done. So we're gonna hang out. It's 6 p.m. here in Quebec. So I'm gonna have dinner and hopefully it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, well, I hope it will too. Well, I'll let you go and enjoy your dinner, man. I genuinely like thank you for we're very lucky in Linchpin. I don't know how we do it. We've got so many amazing people from all around the world in the community, but even in that group, you are a beacon of positivity, man. I mean,
Thank you very
genuinely
much. I really do
appreciate you.
appreciate.
Thanks for what you do. I always look forward to your posts. Doesn't matter what happens, you hang in there, you find a
Yeah.
solution, and I wish you and your family the best, and I hope everything works out great with your new job, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really
Of
do
course.
appreciate being part of Linchpin. There's so much amazing people down here, so it's really fun to post in the morning, and it does not feel like a chore.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I look forward to it as well. I sit in the morning, drink my cup of coffee, and I go to the Facebook group, and it's like I'm hanging out with somebody. So, again, thank your wife, please, for allowing us this time to talk.
no
It's
problem.
awesome, and yeah, man, I will see you online.
Perfect. See you soon.
Thanks, Nick.
Bye bye.